The trail's finished. It's 3/4 of a mile down and back, and a hell of a workout when you're coming back going uphill. Enjoy the video. All right, we're doing the trail build part 2 video. The reveal. Here it is. So the trail's done. Just finished it a few minutes ago. We're starting out in my backyard, and heads all the way down to this valley floor that's on my property. My house is kind of on a ridge line, and I wanted a nice walking trail all the way to the valley floor to access my property and be able to get some exercise, train for Appalachian Trail hikes. I'm going to have a little gun range at the bottom on the floor, and bushcraft area, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So this is kind of the key to all of that happening, and I built it with my body. It's only 2 tools used for the construction of this whole trail. There's Lizzie. Lizzie loves the trail. But I used a grub axe and my Milwaukee 18-volt chainsaw. That was it. And I basically went over how I did the construction process in the first video. This video is just kind of focusing on the big picture. So here you see the finished product. It's spring now, so it's kind of greening up, and I'm super grateful for that, because when I first dug this thing out, especially after you get some rain, Tennessee soil is like this red clay that, I mean, like if you were a scientist and you were trying to develop scientifically a product that would stick to the bottom of your shoes and turn everything red, you couldn't do any better than what I got going on in my backyard here. So the fact that this thing is starting to lush up and turn green and get covered with leaves and everything, I'm ecstatic about that, because that'll make the trail more usable. As it is right now, you know, basically if you walk on this thing, you got to take your shoes off when you get back to the house and just kind of leave them at the door. But hopefully that's a self-solving problem. As time goes on, it looks like, I mean, look at that, that's awesome. It's like it's working out. But as far as the overall build process itself, I don't know, I'm reluctant to recommend other people doing this, because I'm not going to lie, it was a bear. This thing was a lot of work. And I mean, I guess it's doable because I did it, but I don't know if that's an undertaking most people want to take on. So it took me, I don't even know how to measure the manpower hours that went into building this thing. It took me a long time. I don't know if I could have done this with machinery. Honestly, like I was thinking about using a small track hoe, but I think that would have been disastrous. I think you would have been you wouldn't have been seeing any more videos from Will, because I would have rolled off the side of this thing and been in a fiery wreck at the bottom of the mountain. Now here's my switchback here. Okay, I'm not a trail architect, so this is what I came up with. And kind of the edge of my property, I don't know if you could see it, but right over there, see if I can zoom in on that little guy. Anyway, somewhere over there is an orange ribbon on a tree. It's the edge of my property. So, you know, and that was running off of some app that I downloaded for free on my phone. So I didn't want to get too close to that, because I wasn't sure how accurate it was going to be. So I made my switchback here and continuing on. Probably getting to be a boring video at this point for you guys, because it's like just the same thing for like 5 minutes straight. But hey man, I'm kind of proud of it. And I call that the Mufasa ledge, because you can kind of access that right off the trail and hold your baby lion up, sing a song, and it overlooks the valley floor. Speaking of baby lions, There's the walnut. Some of these areas were kind of tough, like right here in particular. I hit a batch of, I think it was like sandstone or something. I kind of had to chisel through that. Obviously, like the steeper the grade of the mountain going down, like the further you have to dig into it to make your trail kind of level. So some of these areas were, you know, involved more digging than others. What else? Man, there was an ungodly amount of litter pollution, basically. The closer I got to the side of my property that abuts the road, which is like right up there on the top of those cliffs, that's the road I live on. And I guess, you know, back in the day, people would just throw their trash off the side of the mountain. So, I mean, there was bags and bags of garbage. There's still a lot of garbage, probably a ton on the valley floor, and that's not an exaggeration. I'm talking about 2,000 pounds of garbage. Kind of makes you lose respect for humanity a little bit, but hey, whatever. That's people, man. I mean, they have their good points and their bad points. But I had a whole bunch of trash cleanup, and another challenging aspect was like really figuring the route. I had to do a lot of scouting because I wanted to work with the terrain and find, you know, the easiest going, least destructive way to get down to the valley floor, which is kind of like where we're at right now. We're getting there. That was pretty much the end of the work, the earthworks portion of the build. There's one little section up here, but from here on out, the terrain was kind of like smooth and level enough that I didn't have to mess with it. I just cleared out some brush and rocks. Had to cut through a little bit of down trees. And just working my way down. My last earthwork section I just finished today. But yeah, it just feels good. It feels good to have completed this trail. You know, I set out to do it, and I was all, you know, like unicorns and butterflies and pixie dust and happy about it, and I had no idea this thing was going to be such a monster project, but I got it done. And yeah, cool. Here's the valley floor. So this is where all the outdoor activities are going to be occurring, other than hiking up and down the trail. There's probably 100 of these tires down here that people just rolled off the hill. And at first I was like, that sucks, but then I was like, you know what, I'm going to make some lemonade out of these lemons, and I figured I'd collect all these things up, and that's going to be the shooting stop, the backstop for my gun range. I'll just pile those things up, fill them up with dirt, and there you go. They're going to serve a purpose. There's no way I'm getting them out of here. I mean, there's just too many. But anyway, it goes on like this for like another 150 yards. Just a beautiful, pristine valley floor. Me and my wife have been down here. I've been down here a couple times, and it's really nice walking it with her. Got to have some permethrin on this time of the year, but man, it's super cool down here. Nice and flat. It's a cool feature of my property. Anyway, that's the video. Glad I could bring you guys along for the nature trail build, and I hope it's inspirational to you. You know, I mean, it's doable if you're willing to put in the work, and you got a property like I do. You can build your own Appalachian Trail. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll bring you back in a future video for the completed gun range and bushcraft area, and you know, we'll continue the Florida bushcraft stuff up here. We'll see how it goes. I know I got a Appalachian Trail section hike coming up next week. I think it's like 80-something miles in 8 days, going with my buddies. So tune in for that. There's some, still on my property, there's some bat caves over here. So I have my own bat cave. My wife needs to know that I have a bat cave on my property. That's where I'll be. Yeah, there's a property boundary there, right next to the bat cave. I'll show you that real quick. Yeah, I came out here with some orange tape and just ran all over the property with that app and marked it out. Let's see here. There she is. And then these cliffs here are where these bats winter at, man. There's all kinds of nooks and crannies up in there, and they go in there. That's where I keep my my fortress of justice also. All right, signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you dig it.